Imagine a country bearing the weight of a millennial-old history, once the heart of empires and a witness to devastating tragedies. Armenia, nestled between East and West, is a nation that endures and thrives even in the face of the most daunting adversities. It is the first country in the world to adopt Christianity as its official religion, making it a unique spiritual and cultural landmark. At the same time, Armenia is known for a historical wound that still resonates today: the Armenian Genocide. This massacre, which claimed the lives of over 1.5 million people in the early 20th century, remains a subject of international dispute and a source of deep pain for its people. How has this small nation, surrounded by geopolitical tensions and rivalries, managed to preserve its identity and transform its scars into strength? What secrets make Armenia such a fascinating and resilient place? Get ready for a journey through one of the world's oldest countries, filled with history, culture, and challenges. Let's uncover Armenia in a way you've never seen before. Armenia, located in the Caucasus region, is a small country with breathtaking geographic beauty. Covering an area of approximately 29,743 square kilometers, it's smaller than many Brazilian states, but its territory is a true gem for lovers of mountains and dramatic landscapes. Nestled between Asia and Europe, Armenia borders Turkey to the west, Georgia to the north, Azerbaijan to the east, and Iran to the south. This strategic position along historic trade routes, such as the Silk Road, has made the country a crossroads of cultures for centuries. Armenia's landscape is dominated by mountains and highlands. Mount Ararat, a sacred mountain for Armenians, is the country's most iconic symbol. Although it is now located in Turkey, it remains visible from much of Armenia and is deeply ingrained in the cultural and religious identity of the Armenian people. Another geographic highlight is Lake Sevan, the largest freshwater lake in the region and one of the highest in the world, situated about 1,900 meters above sea level. Its crystal-clear waters and the monasteries along its shores make it one of the country's most beloved tourist destinations. Armenia has a continental climate with harsh winters and hot, dry summers. Temperatures can range from -15 degrees Celsius in the mountains during winter to 40 degrees Celsius in the plains during summer. Planning your visit according to the experience you want is essential. Winter offers snow-covered landscapes, while summer is perfect for exploring trails and historical monuments. Armenia's geography also reflects its challenges. The lack of access to the sea limits its trade options, and tensions with neighboring countries, particularly Azerbaijan and Turkey, complicate its land routes. Despite these difficulties, Armenia leverages its unique location to attract tourists and investors drawn by its rich culture and warm hospitality. Armenia's history is one of the oldest in the world, filled with conquests, tragedies, and an impressive determination to preserve its identity. Its roots trace back over 3,000 years, with the first Armenian kingdoms, such as the legendary kingdom of Urartu, emerging in the 9th century BC. Throughout the centuries, Armenia served as a crossroads for major empires, including the Persians, Romans, and Ottomans, making it a constant battleground. Yet, one landmark event forever changed its trajectory. In 301 CE, Armenia became the first country in the world to adopt Christianity as its official religion, thanks to King Tiridates III and the efforts of St. Gregory the Illuminator. To this day, Christianity remains one of the most vital pillars of Armenian identity. Armenia's strategic location between East and West brought as many challenges as it did opportunities. For centuries, the country was invaded by forces such as Arabs, Mongols, Turks, and Russians. Each conquest left its mark, weaving a rich tapestry of cultural influences into Armenian society. In the early 20th century, Armenia faced one of the darkest chapters in its history: the Armenian Genocide, carried out by the Ottoman Empire during World War I. Over 1.5 million Armenians were killed in massacres and forced deportations. To this day, Turkey denies the genocide, keeping this wound open and causing ongoing international tensions. After the genocide, Armenia was incorporated into the Soviet Union in 1922. For nearly 70 years, the country existed under communist rule, which brought advancements in infrastructure and education, but also suppressed many cultural and religious freedoms. Independence came in 1991 with the collapse of the Soviet Union, but Armenia faced immediate challenges, including a war with Azerbaijan over the Nagorno-Karabakh region, a conflict that continues to this day. Despite these challenges, Armenia has never stopped preserving its traditions and values. Its alphabet, created in the 5th century by Mesrop Mashtots, is one of the oldest still in use. Its monasteries and churches, many carved directly into mountains, stand as silent witnesses to the faith and resilience of its people. Armenia's history reflects its soul, strong, resilient, and full of life, even during its darkest moments. Now that we've explored its past, it's time to uncover what the country has to offer travelers. Let's talk tourism. Armenia is a destination that blends ancient history, stunning landscapes, and a unique culture. Though it remains a lesser-known country for many travelers, those who venture into its lands uncover a true hidden gem. The capital, Yerevan, is the perfect starting point for exploring the country. With over 2,800 years of history, it is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. At the same time, Yerevan is vibrant and modern, with charming cafes, bustling squares, and a surprising nightlife. Republic Square and the History Museum of Armenia are must-see attractions to learn more about the country's past. Monasteries are the crown jewels of Armenian tourism. Places like Geghard Monastery, carved directly into the rock, and Tatev Monastery, perched on a cliff, are absolutely breathtaking. Lake Sevan, one of the largest high-altitude lakes in the world, is another must-visit destination. Its crystal-clear waters and the monasteries adorning its shores create a truly unique landscape. For archaeology enthusiasts, the Temple of Garni is a highlight. This 1st-century structure, dedicated to the god Mitra, is a rare example of Greco-Roman architecture in the region. The temple is surrounded by incredible views of Armenian mountains and valleys, making it even more special. Now, a few practical tips for those planning to visit Armenia. The best time to explore the country is during spring, April to June, and autumn, September to October, when the weather is mild and the landscapes are at their peak beauty. In winter, temperatures can drop below -10 degrees Celsius, especially in the mountains, so pack accordingly if you decide to travel during this season. As for safety, Armenia is a peaceful country with low crime rates. However, it's wise to avoid sensitive political discussions, especially regarding the conflict with Azerbaijan. Another important point is transportation. While the infrastructure is improving, some roads are narrow and winding, so plan your trips carefully. Lastly, don't miss the chance to savor the local cuisine. Lavash, the traditional Armenian flatbread, and dishes like korvats, barbecue, and dolma, stuffed grape leaves, are delicious. And of course, no visit to Armenia would be complete without tasting its famous Armenian brandy, considered one of the best in the world. With so many attractions, Armenia captivates in every detail. But what is life like economically for its people? Let's find out. Armenia's economy reflects the history of a country that, despite geographic and political challenges, has always found ways to move forward. Landlocked and surrounded by neighbors with tense relationships, such as Turkey and Azerbaijan, Armenia relies heavily on its trade connections with Russia, Georgia, and Iran. The country's GDP is approximately $14 billion, with key sectors including mining, agriculture, and information technology. Agriculture serves as a cornerstone for the rural population, with products like dried fruits, nuts, and grapes standing out both in domestic markets and exports. In mining, Resources such as copper and molybdenum are crucial contributors. The average monthly income for an Armenian worker is around 200,000 dram, or $500, reflecting a lower cost of living compared to many countries. Renting a small apartment in Yerevan costs between 80,000 and 150,000 dram, or $200 to $380, while in smaller cities, prices are even lower. Monthly food expenses average about 50,000 dram, or $125 per person. Armenia also boasts a growing tech sector. In recent years, the country has earned the nickname Silicon Valley of the Caucasus due to the emergence of startups and innovation hubs. Global companies are beginning to recognize Armenia's market potential, and the government has invested in technology education programs to prepare future generations. However, significant economic challenges persist. Poverty still affects around 25% of the population, and unemployment, particularly among young people, is a constant concern. Additionally, the economic blockade imposed by Turkey and Azerbaijan complicates trade and hampers growth. Despite these challenges, the Armenian diaspora plays a crucial role in the country's economy. Millions of Armenians living abroad send regular remittances and invest in local businesses and projects, contributing to economic development. Armenia has shown remarkable resilience throughout its history, and its economy is a testament to this spirit. While the challenges are significant, the innovative drive of the Armenian people and their commitment to progress point to a more prosperous future. But it's not all about numbers and innovation. Now it's time to delve into the scandals, controversies, and delicate issues that also shape this story. Armenia, despite its rich culture and resilience, bears deep scars and faces complex challenges that cannot be overlooked. The Armenian genocide, which occurred between 1915 and 1917, remains the most sensitive topic in the country's history. Over 1.5 million Armenians were killed in massacres and forced deportations orchestrated by the Ottoman Empire, an act that Turkey still refuses to officially recognize as genocide. This denial sustains a geopolitical tension that affects Armenia's relations with the world. Another controversial issue is the conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh, a disputed region between Armenia and Azerbaijan since the collapse of the Soviet Union. Although the majority of the region's population is ethnically Armenian, the territory is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan. This conflict has resulted in two major wars, the most recent in 2020, which left thousands dead and caused mass displacements. Even with a Russia-brokered ceasefire, the situation remains unstable and marked by escalating tensions. Domestically, Armenia also faces political challenges. The transition from a post-Soviet system to a more transparent democracy has been slow and marred by episodes of corruption and protests. In 2018, the peaceful Velvet Revolution led to the ousting of a government perceived as authoritarian, sparking new hopes for change. However, political stability remains fragile, especially in the aftermath of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Economically, Armenia's reliance on Russia for both trade and military security is another delicate issue. The sanctions imposed on Russia due to the war in Ukraine have directly impacted Armenia, which already struggles with economic difficulties and limited diversification in its trading partners. Emigration is another serious problem. Thousands of Armenians leave the country each year in search of better opportunities abroad. This brain drain, combined with a low birth rate, raises concerns about the country's demographic future. Finally, while Armenia is culturally rich, social development still faces hurdles, such as limited access to quality public services and disparities between urban and rural areas. Armenia's history is living proof that the strength of a people goes far beyond their adversities. Despite genocides, conflicts, and economic challenges, Armenia continues to rise, transforming its scars into symbols of resilience. This is a country that, over millennia, has preserved its unique identity, traditions, and faith, even in the face of the greatest trials. The courage to confront the shadows of the past and the ongoing effort to build a better future make Armenia an inspiring example for the world. Today, Armenia is not just a land of breathtaking landscapes and historic monuments. It is also a nation striving to balance modernity and tradition, facing its challenges with creativity and determination. The spirit of its diaspora, which maintains deep ties to its roots, serves as a reminder that love for one's homeland transcends borders. Whether you're a traveler seeking unique landscapes or someone looking to be inspired by stories of perseverance, Armenia has something to offer. It teaches us that even amidst difficulties, it's possible to find beauty, strength, and hope. What impressed you the most about Armenia? Share your thoughts in the comments, and see you on the next adventure.